And it is a special day, and I think there's no better way to go into the Chag, especially during these times, by seeing whoever has the opportunity to sign in and join with us. And it's great to see whoever is here with us, getting ready for the Chag together. For the majority of us, this Chag is, I would say, for the majority of Jews around the world, because still, even here in Israel, but definitely in the United States and in England and other places, shuls are not open. And even here that they are open, it's still, everyone is very cautious. There are no tikkun leil Shavuot the way it used to be. Not this year, Mirza Hashem, there will be next year. And it's not the same level of cohesive learning, of everyone learning together. It's more personal learning. It's more of a personal take. And I wanna address that for just a few brief moments, so that we come into the Chag, hopefully with, and each one could choose the right inspiration or what speaks to him. Imagine that we take a group of people, we take 20 people, we put them in a room, and we tell them, okay, start, go ahead, you could go. So they'll look at each other and they're like, okay, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, what do you mean? Start, just go. Now it begins. Tell us when you're finished. When we're finished, what? When you put people in a room and they don't know what their mission is and what they're supposed to be doing, so then how are they supposed to know what they're supposed to be accomplishing? They could try to guess, they could try to figure things out by themselves. And that's really what was so special about this day. The day of Matan Torah is the day that changed the world. It's the day that humanity no longer looked the same after Matan Torah. It's the day where we sort of got the instruction book and the manual of, like, these are the values that you should be living by, and these are the values that you should be creating a society by. And together you could create a change in the whole entire world. And we have a mission. We're trying to be letaken olam b'malchut shakai, to perfect the world. And God says, you are my partner. Right here, this is where we became the partners with God to make this world a better place through the values that he gave us at Har Sinai. And that's really what happened today. It's when we first got the written and the oral instruction book and the manual book of how to best navigate through life, of how to reach our goals, how to reach our final destination. And that's really what we connect to. And like Rabbi Wein said yesterday, it's sort of like a laptop. It needs to be plugged in. You could take it out of the plug, you could use it, you could enjoy it, but if you don't plug back in, so then eventually the laptop is going to run out of power. And the power source for humanity, the power source for us as the Jewish people, is this Ma'amad Har Sinai. The power source is connecting back to the Torah, connecting back to that tremendous day that we got those values. And tonight is really the night where every Jew around the world has an opportunity to retap and reconnect back into that power outlet. Of course, it's the mitzvah of Talmud Torah is throughout our whole entire life, but this is the mothership. This is the ultimate source where we get our chizuk from. And I want to bring to your attention three individuals that they were the ones who actually made the journey towards connecting to this power source, each one in his own different way. And I think it's three different ways how we could connect, and many of us connect in different ways and in different paths. And I think there's something very fascinating for us to choose what is it that we want to learn, because we have different opportunities on how to connect. The three individuals are Avraham, Yisro, and Rus. All three of them made a journey towards connecting to the Torah. It says that Avraham learned the whole entire Torah. Now, how did he connect to it? How did he understand that the Torah wasn't even given? He made the journey to find Hashem. How do you find Hashem when there is no Torah, when there is no instruction book? He was able to see it from the creation itself. He was able to learn science and look around at the world, at the stars, at the moon, at nature, and realize, wait a minute, this can't be. In his time, they thought the sun god, and the moon god, and the water god, and the fire god, all the natural resources, they were the powers that ran the world. And he understood, yes, you have the four core essential powers of the world. You have different, powers that run and govern, but that's not what created the world. It can't be. There must be a higher being. And he looked at nature, and just by looking at the Bria, by looking at creation, he was able to recognize that there's a creator, and recognize that there must be values, and recognize that if the Torah, if God looked at the Torah and created the world, so it's sort of like an architect, he can look at the plans and can create the house. But if you look at a house, if you're a good enough architect, you can look at a house and you can actually draw the plans backwards. And that's what Avram Avinu did. He looked at the Bria, he looked at the creation, and he was able to draw the plans in which the world was created from. That's the first individual who connected to this Torah, to this power source through nature. The second individual is Yisro. What inspired Yisro to come out to the desert, to connect to the Torah, to connect to the Jewish people? He had his son-in-law. His son-in-law was Jewish, but that wasn't it. The Torah tells us, Vayishma Yisro, he heard the tremendous miracles that Hashem did to Am Yisrael. Many people want to connect to the Torah, and I think this is Rabbi Wein's speciality, because he's able to articulate Jewish history in such a miraculous way, in such a real way, in such a profound way, that people say, Rabbi, because of your lectures, I wanted to connect to the Torah. I wanted to learn more Torah. I wanted to understand the Jewish people. That's what Yisro represents, the understanding of Jewish history and the miracles of Jewish history, the process of Jewish history. That's what allows people to connect to the Torah. And finally, there's Rus. Rus represents a whole different type of connection to the Torah. Rus is connected to the Torah because of Naomi. Naomi, what does the name Naomi mean? It comes from the word ne'ima. She's pleasant. She is, there's a ne'imut over there. There's a ne'imut in her life. And a lot of times people want to connect to the Jewish people. They want to connect to the Torah, even within the Jewish people. And you know what inspires them? Is because they had a pleasant role model. They had a good Rabbi. They had parents that loved them. They had a friend that looked out for them. They had someone who was na'im for them. And they say, wow, that person, he grew up as an Orthodox Jew. And he's so nice, and he's so caring, and he's so loving, and he's full of chesed. I want to be like that. I want my children to be like that. I want to raise a family like this family. And a lot of times people are inspired to connect to the Torah because they see the ne'imut of another Jew. And I think this Chag of Shavuot, is really our opportunity to reconnect, to re-tap into that power source. And different people connect for different reasons. All three reasons are good reasons to connect. Whether it's seeing the awesomeness of Hashem in creation, whether it's seeing the awesomeness of Hashem in Jewish history and in world history, whether it's seeing the awesomeness of Hashem and in the Torah, in the impact it has on people that learn the Torah. And it's supposed to be, turn them into people that when people see them, they say, Ashrei Eladeto, blessed is he that his mother, his parents must be proud of him, because he's following the values that Hashem gave to this world, and he's able to create a good lifestyle for himself. It doesn't matter what life throws at him. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It doesn't matter what his financial situation is. Naomi was on the top, and she was Naomi. And then she went all the way down to the bottom. And even though she told people, Al tikru mi Naomi, call me Mara, because she was bitter, but she still, you see the way she carried herself with grace, the way she carried herself with royalty. And that's really the gadlus of this holiday, is that really each and every human being in the world, but definitely us, Am Yisrael, who are chosen and we're given this mandate to lead our own lives in this way that's based on the values of Hashem, and to teach that to the world. This is the holiday where we have the opportunity to replug back in, to replug ourselves, to replug our communities back into that power source that's called Matan Torah. So Baruch Hashem, we've had Bli Ayin Hara, consecutive days. I believe we are the shul with the most consecutive Zoom Divrei Torah and meetups. And not only that, it's consecutive in the people that show up every single day and show up to come and to be mechazik one another and to be together as a community. And I think that's what's special about our kehila. We've been Zooming. I tried to calculate a little bit. I don't know for how long, but it's been pretty much since a week after Purim. And I think that's another Nakuda to think about this year, is that from Purim, we had the Purim Suda together already with some restrictions in our shul. But from Purim until Shavuot, we've been on lockdown. This is the longest time. It's like 3 months that we've been on lockdown together. But Shavuot and Purim, they come together. One is the Torah Shebichtav, one is the Torah Sheba'al Peh. We know that we said Nasa v'Nishma. On Purim, we say Kimu v'Kiblu Aleim HaYehudim. It was the same Nasa v'Nishma in the times of darkness, even though there was Hester Panim and God Kivyachol hid his face from the world and from the Jewish people for sure. But from that darkness, we were able to find our connection to Torah, our reconnection to Torah, our Kimu v'Kiblu Aleim HaYehudim, that the Am Yisrael decided to accept upon themselves the connection to the Torah from the darkness, we don't understand. Hashem, why are you doing this to us? Why is there a decree to wipe us all out? We don't understand. Unfortunately, if you're following the news, you see that there's a rise in anti-Semitism. They want to blame, there's nothing new in the world. They want to blame the Jewish people for causing this pandemic. They want to, and I don't know what time will tell. I don't know how world history is going to change and how Jewish history is going to change, but it's going to change. This is not just a 2.5 month or a 3-month blip in our regular life, and we're going right back to normal to where it was. This is altering the course of humanity event that Hashem put into place. And we need to maximize it and to use it to connect, right? Purim was an altering cause of event. After Purim, the Jewish people, we rose to the top because we saw Hashem in the darkness, and within just a few years, we were able to go back to Eretz Yisrael and build the second Beis HaMikdash. It was an altering event in world history and in Jewish history. We're in the same time period right now, from Purim until Shavuot. And it's the process. Are we going to say Nasa v'Nishma? Are we going to say, I want to tap into this. I want to be connected to Am Yisrael. I want to be connected to Hashem. And I connect to it because I see it in the Bria. I see it in the Jewish history. And this time period is full of miraculous Jewish history moments, whether from, we have Yom HaShoah and Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim. We see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is speaking to us in our modern day times. We see that we could, and there is people who really embody the values of Hashem and live by those values. They are na'im. They're the people that we want to emulate, the people that we want to be like. And yes, sometimes there's politics, and sometimes, there's a lot of backdrop noises. And we need to push those aside. We need to focus on what's really real in life and be inspired by who we are as being part of the Jewish people. And this holiday will come as an opportunity for us to reconnect to who we are, to reconnect to our community, to reconnect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we'll be zocha. After saying Nasa v'Nishma, this coming Chag HaShavuot, Uvau Yachad, Uvau Kulam Bivris Yachad, everyone will come together and they'll say Nasa v'Nishma. Then it's all it is Achad Asar Yom Michorev Derech Har Seir, just 11 days later from Har Sinai, straight to Eretz Yisrael. If we do it properly, we'll be zocha that all of Am Yisrael will come to Eretz Yisrael. May we be zocha to see it soon in our time. I want to wish everyone a Chag Sameach. Thank you for really giving me the opportunity and really giving us the opportunity to grow and to grow together as a kehila during this time period. This is a time period of growth, and I definitely find that the shir of our shul together was the opportunity for me personally to grow through this difficult time period. And I've turned my living room into my Beis Medrash and into my office, and it's been a big zechut to do it together with you, and I look forward to continuing after Shavuot. We will send out details for shiurim after Shavuot. We're staying together as one kehila, looking out for one another, and I'm really excited about that opportunity.